The Goa Football Development Council celebrated its second anniversary on 29th of July. On the occasion, the GFDC cut the customary cake in the presence of Aldona MLA, Glenn Tickler, and other dignitaries. GFDC also released a newsletter which will publish articles related to footballing developments at GFDC every 2 months. In his opening address, the newly elected Goa Football Association President Elvis Gomes, who is also the member secretary of GFDC, set the record straight about his role in Goan football.
GFDC म्हणटा तो सरकाराचे GFDC सरकाराचे खातें हांव सरकाराचो एम्प्लॉई जंय सरकार धाडटा म्हाका तें काम करूंकूच जाय. GFA प्रेसिडेंटशिप हो म्हजो चॉयस. सरकारान म्हाका पाठिंबो दिला. कित्याक पाठिंबो दिला ते सरकार जाणा आसतलो. तर हातून कांयच कोणाच्या मनात दुबाव आसूंक जायना. कोण म्हाका पळयता तो GFA प्रेसिडेंट म्हणून पळयता किंवा GFDC मेंबर सेक्रेटरी म्हणून पळयता, पूण फायनली हेतू कितें? गोंय सरकाराचो हेतू गोंयचे फुटबॉल वयर काडपाचो, गोंयच्या फुटबॉलाचो दर्जो वयर काडपाचो. आनी ह्या हेतून जर फुडें गेलो जाल्यार हातून कोणाक दुखता हें म्हाका खबर ना. कोणें दुखोवन घेवंक जायना. आनी हो प्रश्न म्हाका दिसता आयच्यान उरूंक जायना. ही म्हजी पयली सगळ्यांक विनंती. दुसरे सुवातेर आज GFDCचे सेलिब्रेशन जेन्ना आमी करता सेकंड इयर, कित्याक करपाक जाय सेलिब्रेशन? आमकां दिसता, आमच्या कावन्सिलाक दिसता, दोतोराक दिसता की वर्साक एक फावटी तरी आमी येवन एक सेलिब्रेशन करता करता एक रिव्यू करता. खंय आमी पावले. आतां चलचित्रान तुमकां थोडक्यान दाखयलां कितें कितें जालें. आज चीफ मिनिस्टर आसल्यार ताका एक जजमेंट मेळपाचो, पूण मेळटलो ताका. आमचो ग्लेन बाबूचून ताका रिपोर्ट करतलो. गेल्ले खेपेक तो जेन्ना आयिल्लो फर्स्ट इयर तेन्ना आमी खंय आसले आनी आज खंय पावले. कित्याक पावले? कित्याक हाका ताचो पाठिंबो आसा, सरकाराचो पाठिंबो आसा. आनी जें काम ताणें येवजिल्लें जेन्ना GFDCचें डिक्लेरेशन जाल्लें एसेंब्लीक ऑन द फ्लोर ऑफ द हावस, तेन्ना हो एक एब्स्ट्रॅक्ट कॉन्सेप्ट आसलो. कांयच नासलें. एक बिल्डींग नासली, कांय नासलें, ते हॉल नासले. ताका शेप दिवपाक ताचे फाटल्यान कितलो एफर्ट गेलो ह्या 2 वर्सांत ताची जाणीव आज सगळ्यांक आसूंक जाय. म्हणून हें सेलिब्रेशन. आनी पयले सुवातेर तुमकां सगळ्यांक हांगा आयिल्ल्या बद्दल देव बरें करूं म्हणटा. GFDC स्ट्रेंथ हॅज ग्रोन. पयलीच खेपेक जेन्ना वाळपय सेंटर उगडलें गेलें तेन्ना लोकांच्या मनान डावट येतालो हें कितले दीस चलतलें, हें कितले दीस टिकतलें. अशें खूब स्टार्ट जाता, खूब पडटा. ते समर कॅम्प स्टार्ट जाता, समर कॅम्प बंद जाता. पूण ही एक पॉलिसी म्हणून आमी फुडें घेवन गेल्ले आसा. ह्या पॉलिसी भितर आमचें टार्गेट आसा की प्रत्येक भुरग्यान खंयचो तरी स्पोर्ट्स खेळचो म्हणून. जरी गोवा फुटबॉल डेव्हलपमेंट कावन्सिल जर फुटबॉलाच्या दृश्टिकोनातून पळयता तरी सुद्धा आमचो हेतू आसा की प्रत्येक भुरग्यान जावं चली चलो खंयचो तरी स्पोर्ट्स आयुश्यान एक आपणावचो आनी आपलो करून घेवचो. म्हणून आमी आज मास बेस क्रिएट करपाक, मास बेस तयार करपाक एक फुडें पावल घेतलेलें आसा. आमचो टार्गेट 5000 तरी भुरगे जावचे. 5000 तरी बेज लेवलाचेर, ग्रासरूट लेवलाचेर भुरगे खेळचे. ह्या टार्गेटांतल्यान आमी चलता चलता 2900 काय कितें आमी पावल्या. 25 सेंटर उगडल्यात. आनी 25 सेंटरा भितर एकूय सेंटर बंद जावपाचे मार्गार ना. मे बी where there was a strength of 100, it has stabilized at 80. Somewhere there was a strength of 60, it has stabilized again at 80. So we have to look at the averages, the law of averages. It is very encouraging की जे सेंटर चलता ते सगळे सेंटर मोठ्या नेटान चलता आणि द फ्युचर इज रियली ब्रायट. इतले सांगता आसतना we knew our own strength, we knew our past history, we knew our legacy from what we have inherited, where we were, what was our footing. And we realized that football has changed so drastically and dramatically that we also need to keep up with the change. And unless we tune ourselves to keep up with the change, we will be relegated. We are already relegated much behind in the world rankings, but it is our effort to see that we grow, and that is the reason the gentleman on my right has been roped in. The experienced trainer of trainers who has taken to this job like fish takes to water. So that is the positive change that we have seen in this last 1 year. Along with the 2,900 to 3,000 kids, we have a strength of around 65 trainers, coaches, whom we call coaches, who are getting now special attention from him and who are equipping themselves to face the challenges of the future so that our football is not seen in poor light. Our Indian football has to undergo a sea change. There should be a paradigm shift on what we aim to do, and that is what we are planning to do with Mr. Katz Naidu at the helm of affairs. And the council is giving him all support. There is not a single instance where doctor, myself or any of the members have even interfered with his plan and process. Technical master plan is already before us. He is in charge to see that it is implemented. Some of the activities, I'm just telling you this, between last year and now, maybe doctor will talk in detail. Club conferences. 4 months ago, we had an idea that we should call all the clubs. Now clubs make up Goan football. 200 odd clubs are members of the Goa Football Association. 172 clubs are actually active clubs who are eligible to vote. But how do these clubs function? Where are they standing? What efforts are being put in by these clubs to sustain? Are they sustainable clubs? 4 or 5 commercial clubs fund from their own pocket. The rest of the clubs are struggling. How to be part of their struggle? How to bring them out of the rut that they are in? Because Goa Football Development Council believes when it is planning for the development and growth of football, Goa Football Development Council believes unless these clubs sustain. Now why I am telling you this? There is a tendency where clubs are forced to shut down or are getting shut down. I don't want to take names. Some have created a situation for the leading club to see the door, whether they should get out or remain in. Another club has yesterday sent a disturbing letter that they want to get out of the league competition. If there is no structure of the clubs, a healthy structure of the clubs, what is going to happen to the product of Goa Football Development Council? Where will they get absorbed? What will be the platform for them? So in that connection, we had organized a club conference. We called practically every club. We tried to understand their problems. We tried to give them professional help, how to grow, how to sustain. Unfortunately, 90% of the people took it in their stride and they said, yes, we are never exposed to such a thing. 10% of the people said, this is the election stunt. When 90% of the people are pleased, I think we have achieved what we set out to do. 10% of the people will keep on making noise. We have to insulate ourselves from such noises and we will continue to do that. Goa Football Development Council had brought out a Goa football policy. The policy, I am not saying this because Chief Minister is not present. Even if he was present, I would have made it a point to bring it to his notice that Goa football policy document, which was draft document that was released at his hands in March 2013, March 2014 also could not see the light of this day. And we hope that the machinery in the government, the Director of Sports is here, the machinery, the Secretary of Sports also is here. Of course, they came later in the day. And I'm sure that this football policy, which takes into account all aspects of football, Goan football, from the government's perspective, will be through, the government will approve it and it will get notified as the official football policy. Why it is important? प्रत्येक डिपार्टमेंट चिंता की ते तांचे मरे या आमचे मरे स्पोर्ट्स डिपार्टमेंटाक दिसताना ते गोवा फुटबॉल डेव्हलपमेंट काउन्सिल पळोवन घेतले आणि कोणाक दिसता एसएजी पळून घेतले, आणि कोणाक दिसता जीएफए पळून घेतले, आणि जीएफए दिसता जीएफडीसी पळून घेतले. In this merry-go-round affairs, who suffers is football, who suffers is the children of Goa who are consciously trying to make a career in football, who suffers is the whole ecosystem, and which we cannot afford under any circumstances. Having said this, there are a lot of challenges. Some of the challenges I will just spell out for the information of our honored guest here, chief guest, the sports secretary also, and also the director. Use of grounds. आमचेकडे ग्राउंड ना हे सदांच आमी आयकता, आमचेकडे ग्राउंड ना. For your information, I had done an inventory of all the grounds in Goa when I was the director of SCG. There are 91 grounds in the state. Average area is not less than 7 to 8,000 square meters each ground. म्हाका दिसना आनी खंयचे स्टेटीन इतले ग्राउंड आसतले आनी आमचे सायजीक द सायज ऑफ गोवा. If 91 is not sufficient, what is? The only problem is, and I request the director to take note. First, there is absolutely no understanding between what is a ground, whether it is a SAG ground or a DSYA ground. When we are talking of official state sport of the government of this state, there is no reason for someone to claim what DSY ground. आणि कोण म्हणटा हो एसएजी ग्राउंड, आणि आमचे कडेन जीएफएचो एक आसा दुलेर जीएफए ग्राउंड. हो ग्राउंड कोणाचो? डीएसवाय ग्राउंड. कोण एप्लिकेशन दिता? पणजे येवन रावता काणकोण. After having given the application and after he getting permission, then it turns out to be SAG ground. So this is the area which needs to be bridged, sir. Very, very important area. I am talking this now more from the Goa Football Association point of view. I may not be misunderstood, but that is a fact. Let these grounds be thrown open. Let the apex clubs, let the apex institutions, let the schools or the colleges, somebody who is responsible, be given charge of these grounds, and let these grounds be set free. Let them be liberated from the bureaucratic clutches which actually hinder and do not facilitate the growth of football in the state. Without referees, there can be no football. There are a lot of issues as far as the referee fraternity is concerned. Referees are looked down upon. Today, the prestige of referees is completely at stake. It is time that we also encourage the growth and development of referees, which GFDC had certainly started. In January 2013, we had made a beginning. Some issues did come in the way for no fault of ours. Nevertheless, we ask you, sir, one simple issue in this is, we have around 82 referees who are registered referees who are officiating various matches. I am told by the referees who are present here, 50% of them are government servants. Many years ago, the government had come out with a circular whereby if a referee is officiating a particular match, he was allowed to leave a little early, and this circular is still in force. In spite of this circular being still in force, they are denied permission. The head of department does not allow them to officiate matches. I am certain that now, when the state is backing football to such an extent, this will not remain as an issue anymore, and the referees will be allowed to go and officiate matches in Goa. And you are aware that it is 1,000+ matches as far as GFA alone is concerned.